All right, so a couple things that I felt like I didn't explain well enough with the video for Selah, but then also specifics on Jirah. So for the claw, when you're moving, when it runs out of milk on the teat, you really need to remove it after, I don't know, 15-30 seconds or so. And the reason for that is it starts getting all hard and also starts to irritate them. So they'll start trying to kick it off if you leave it sit on an empty teat too long. The tricky part is actually moving it. So there's two ways to do it. One is you pull up on this guy and that will actually stop the suction. The thing is that you have to really pull up on it though, and you can tell when it's disengaged when you see the milk flowing in the quarters that still have milk in them. So you can either pull up on it and then you can pull down gently, or you can turn around and turn the machine off and then pull down gently. Whichever is easiest for you. I find that it can be kind of tricky to pull this guy up, because especially it's actually like this, and so you're really pulling it down, and it can be difficult. So if you gotta turn it off, that's fine. But again, when the teats are empty, make sure that you're shutting this guy off, just so it's not irritating them. So that's something I didn't mention very well. The other part is the cows have taken a liking to the milk machine. So as you can see, Selah right here is really into it. Please make sure that they don't lick the pieces. You can gently push them away, lead them away with treats or something like that, but they shouldn't be licking it. They'll actually lick the lid and the claw, and then at that point you have to clean them before you can use them. All right, so for Jirah specifically, she needs the kick bar. So this is not foolproof with her not kicking. However, it does seem to help. It kind of gets her in the mode. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the one end right here under the flank, and then you're going to put the other end just over the top of her back. You're going to start off at 1 and 1, so it's going to be as loose as it possibly can be, and then you're going to cinch it up to 2 when it's on her. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the kick bar on. So I've got it together in a whole piece. I'm just going to slide it over top like this, put it underneath her flank, so it's right here in between the udder and this fold here. So I've put it on like that, and now I'll go ahead and cinch it up. So now I've got it cinched on 2. It's 1 on the bottom, and it feels good in there on her. The other thing is, if she has been really good with holding still during the milking process. It took us a while to get her used to that. If she does start getting ornery, she always likes it if somebody comes and scratches her cheeks while she's getting milk. That'll help calm her down. Also, a treat would help her as well. But generally, it's not been too bad, especially with the milk machine going faster. All right, so now we're gonna milk her. So milking Jirah is the same as milking Selah. You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna clean her up. So the first rag is used just kind of as a whole udder experience. Kind of make sure everything's cleaned up under there. I'll also hit the teats with it. Then you need to hit it with a second rag on just the teats. We are out of rags. I must have failed to grab 5. And so I'll go ahead. I have 2 dry towels, so I can use one of the halves of the dry towels for this final one, and that's just to get the teats. Then you go ahead and dry off the teats. And then you can squeeze out, prime each teat once or twice, kind of point it away. On Jirah, the teat that's always going to run out first, if she's full, which she is today, she's full. The boys drank their milk on Selah, so the one in this back corner here, that's the one that's always going to empty out first. And then you'll see that this one will probably be second, and then these 2 will probably go the longest. The milk also flows a little differently on Jirah than it does on Selah. It's actually a little slower. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready to start milking. We're able to do all 4 at a time today, which is nice. So I'll go ahead and I'll hand the other 2 to Hillary. So I've got the black lid up. I'm going to go ahead and give her these 2, and I'll start the machine. You can also start the machine before you're in this position. checking the lid to make sure it's good. It looks fine. Go ahead and put the little mat underneath to keep it off the ground. And then I'll go ahead and start it up. And now she's flowing. Alright, so now we've got this back one that's emptied already. So I pulled the stopper on the bottom. I'm inserting the red cap. I've been able to keep them on the teeth. Sometimes you have to hold them. And then I'm just re-engaging. And now I see that all four are flowing again, which is great. Sometimes what you'll have to do, especially after you re-engage it, is you'll have to pull down on these because the teat itself gets too far into the cone and it's not sucking it properly. So you want to actually pull down on this to kind of re-engage it. Alright, so you can see throughout the process I've had to detach 3 of them before, and now you can't see it, but I can tell this one's finishing up. I'm just going to gently pull on it, make sure that we've got everything out. I see just a little bit coming. It's about wrapping up, and again, it's really important to make sure you get as much milk out as you possibly can. The reason is that's where the mastitis grows. So like on Selah especially, I know this is Jirah, but on Selah, you've got her back quarter. For some reason, this machine doesn't suck it out all the way. And so for Selah, I'll actually finish it off by just making sure I'm pulling the rest off, or draining the rest by hand, just to make sure I get everything out, especially on the back quarter. The back quarter was closest to me just now. So I'll go ahead and I'll put the claw on the hook. I'm going to drain the milk out of the line, so I'm going to hold the lid. I'm going to hold the lid, pour it out. And so now it's time to clean Jirah up. So you get clean. I'll put one end of one of the dry cloths in here. I'll clean off the teat with the soapy water. And then you're going to put the ointment on after that. So that looks good. So not too bad. She's been doing a lot better. Make sure you get whether it's the Dynamint or the green cream, make sure you get that as much as you can on the teat as possible. And then you cover up the udders with the coconut oil. It's really cold out right now, so I have to rub the coconut oil in between my fingers to get it to melt before I can even apply it. Another thing that I failed to mention in the Selah video is just the lid. So you'll notice that the lid has some clasps on it. That is not meant for the rubber gasket lid. That is meant for the stainless steel lid. It is not meant for the one that's got the tubes and stuff coming out of. So please don't try to secure it with that. That'll actually break. That could break the lid. Get as much coconut oil on her as possible. Sometimes if there's a little left over, we'll go ahead and we'll put it on just top of her spine here, her ridge. She likes that. Jirah is usually second, so she's usually, if there is any coconut oil, it'll come, extra coconut oil will be used on her. Go ahead and wash off my hands, and so now I'll let her out. As I'm letting her out, Jirah is much more prone to get out quicker than Selah, so you'll notice that she moves faster. So I'll go ahead and take this off. I take it off by releasing the top, just taking it off like that. Make sure you put this back into the milk cart. Just make sure that you have it every time. And so she's cleaned up, she's got her ointment. She's stepping on the yellow mat. That's not a huge deal, but I'll take it out and spray it off when we're done here. And she is ready to go. It's time for breakfast. Go ahead and I'll open it up. I do have that purple pole there. I can use that to prop open the door, especially for Selah, because she takes a minute, but as you can tell, Jirah's ready to go. She's heading off and she's ready for her breakfast.